All right, students. So first chapter is your computational thinking, right? So before starting this chapter, what I want to explain you is that what is the need and what is computational thinking. Okay, so computational thinking is basically a thought process only. That means something that is there with you when you have to solve any problem. The way your brain works, the way you think is all about your computational thinking, right? So in our life, beta, sometimes what happens is that we have complex problems, no matter if it is in academics or in our daily life, right? So to solve those complex problems, we have to train our brain to think positively, to think the positive sides, to think how we can achieve a particular problem. Okay, supposedly I give you a task to break down whole mountain. Okay, it may seem very difficult to you at once, right? But once you have started doing it from one side of a mountain, then eventually you will feel that no, once I have started trying, and no matter if how many hurdles are going to come in my way, I'm not going to stop, right? So when you have this kind of attitude that yes, I'm not going to stop for any reason and I'm going to solve all my problems in my life, so this kind of mindset is required. And how can you achieve this mindset is that when you use computational thinking in your life. And computational thinking is not only important for a common man, a normal person in the daily life, but also it is important in computer science, as there are some softwares that are really huge. Just imagine your any online shopping website, Mintra. Okay, on Mintra, what happens? You have all categories, different web pages, all are connected together. Okay, when someone initially might have thought about online shopping website, at that time it would have been a dream of a person, right? To connect so many pages, to give so many options, to give filter option, sort option. Now you can track your parcel also, track your order also. Okay, so initially one might have thought that no, it is impossible. But when you divide a certain task into different categories and then you achieve everything, that time the problem is automatically seem to be very easy, right? So computational thinking is basically training your mind to think that no problem is very difficult to achieve or to solve, right? So this is all about your computational thinking. And as I told you, that it is not only important for normal human beings, it is also important for computer scientists, those who are developing large scale computers or large scale computer softwares. For them also, at times it becomes very difficult to think that is it possible, it is a real life applicable, then they tend to use the things, right, beta? And let me give you one more example here. If you might have visited some of the um, big or branded apartments. Okay, there are some societies, no, apartments, many of you might be living also in those societies. So in that lobby area or near the reception, you might have seen some miniature of that whole group, that whole building. Okay, small projects are there where you can see small artificial roads, artificial small buildings, right? So what is that? That is a prototype of what they are going to build on a large scale, right? So before starting any big project, computational thinking will help us to achieve that courage for which we can, we can apply whatever we have thought, right? So this is all about your computational thinking. Basically it is a thought process, training your mind. Okay, and it is a fundamental skill for everyone, not just for computer scientists. That means every human being can use this, no matter if it is a student, a very an person, an adult person, or a computer scientist. Okay, now let us discuss the five main components of your computational thinking. First is analysis. Okay, because beta, whenever a new problem appears, so you have to analyze the things. First of all, you have to understand the problem. Okay, please underline on this. After analysis, a description is given, no beta. So please understand, underline these things. That understand the problem. Second, understand the conditions, and then define the goals. Right? First of all, like I told you that you have to break down a mountain. Okay, so you have understood the problem, but the condition is that no government is going to let you do this work. Understood? No government, no state government or national, the center government is going to give you permission for the same thing, right? So you have to analyze the problem as well as the conditions that are surrounding that problem, and then you have to define your goals. Okay, then supposedly no state government is going to give you this kind of permission, then what will be your goal? First, to approach the ministers in order to get the contract, or in order to put your put your all desires in front of them. Then you will see what kind of response they are going to give you, right? So analysis means that you have to understand the problem as well as the conditions, and then you have to define your goals. Second step in this computational thinking is decomposition. Okay, so decomposition means, beta, when you are going to divide a big problem into smaller parts that are easy to achieve. Okay, for example, you have to prepare dinner for your family. Okay, then what you will do, you have, first of all, you will analyze the problem. You will see the conditions. Condition is your mother has told you not to go near the gas or the stove. You have to be away, you have to set yourself away from the fire. So condition is this. Now you have to you have to prepare dinner also. So what goal you will define? That you will, or you will select all those dishes which can be cooked or which can be prepared without fire, right? So this is all about analyzing. Now decomposition means that you will decompose your whole dinner part into varieties. Like your one dish can be your starter, one dish can be your main course, okay, one dish can be your dessert, right? So decomposition means breakdown of a large problem into smaller parts so that they are easy to achieve. Next is with a pattern recognition. Now you have decomposed. Okay, you have to prepare three things: starter, main course, and dessert. Okay, now you know how to make prepare the dessert. You have ready-made cake, fruit cake, and then you will put some kind of cream. Okay, then you will just prepare anything from that, right? And you can prepare starter also. You can just put some nacho chips and then put some onion, tomatoes, and all these jalapenos into it, and then you can prepare some kind of starter also. But you are very confused about the main course. Then what you will do? You will approach either Google or someone in your family to help you, right? To give you suggestions how what you can prepare without using fire, and it will be a main course that is fulfilling, right? So this is known as pattern recognition. When you are observing some kind of patterns, trends, similarities in the data, right? You may discover new things. You can talk to experts. In expert means like your mother, you can ask your mother, your sister, your any cousin. You can use YouTube also. Okay, there are many food bloggers also. Okay, so you can message them what I can prepare like this. So means that whatever you have to prepare, you are going to search for it. Now, when you are searching, you will get so many results, definitely. Then you have to choose the best. Supposedly, someone gives you a recipe of mushroom, and maybe your parents are allergic to mushroom. So you have to refine the search, right? Because you have got 10 suggestions of any main course recipe of cooking without fire. Okay. But maybe only two are best for you, right? So you have to filter out the extra things. That means you have to leave those 8 options and you have to work on those two only. This step is known as abstraction. Okay, so components of your computational thinking or steps of your computational thinking are 5. Number 1, analysis, where you will analyze the problem, conditions, and you will define the goal. Second, beta, decomposition, where you are going to break down a large problem into smaller parts. Third is your beta pattern recognition, where you will talk to the experts, you will search about that particular same thing, and you will get so many results. Abstraction means that you are going to filter out the unnecessary details and you will only work on the relevant details. Now, the last step after doing all this, RME on this particular or any particular problem, you have to derive a step-by-step procedure which can be followed. Okay, and your algorithm can be used by another person also whenever they are looking for pattern recognition. All right, so you can write algorithm that is the step-by-step procedure to achieve any particular target, right? And this algorithm can be written in two ways. Number one, English language, like step 1, step 2, step 3. All right, and then it can also be represented in the form of a flow chart. All right, so these were the 5 main components of your computational thinking. In this chapter, we are going to cover a case study of a student, Aryan, who is just of your age only. And what he saw was that trees were cutting on a very large scale in his locality. Okay, in his school premises also. Okay, in his area where he used to live, where he used to spend more time. Then he saw that if the trees will be cutted in such a great amount, then it is going to harm the environment of that area, right? So he saw a problem, he analyzed it, then he saw the conditions that okay, I have to condition is that he has to plant the trees, but he is not having so much money, so he has to arrange everything, he has to arrange the seeds also. Okay, he has to arrange the bags for those seeds where he can germinate a seed, right? So he has seen all the conditions, and then he has set his goal that he is going to make a team of volunteers of his locality or of his school only. All right, and then they all are going to contribute in plantation of trees, right? So in this case study, he analyzed this. RN analyzes the problem well in advance, and when a lot many trees were being cut, he learns or senses that environment is getting polluted, so he needs to plant more seedlings, right? So next is decomposition. As I told you, decomposition means breakdown of a larger problem. Large problem is that he has to plant trees. Okay, so in decomposition he has divided the problem into different parts. For example, the first can be to find the donors, that means who will give financial help for plantation. Okay, collect the seedlings. Okay, then arrange the nursery bags. You might have seen in some plant nurseries where there are some poly bags of cylinder shape and in which small plants or saplings are there. Okay, so now he has decomposed large task into smaller tasks. Now he has to talk to the experts that what is the best way of germinating a seed or nurturing a sapling or growing so many trees on a large scale. Okay, so now he had a word with many people and he has found out many ways of doing the things. Now abstraction means that he has to focus only on those things which are helpful for RN. So RN gets various inputs, then he finds the solution that seedlings can be planted at home at a lesser cost. Okay, because if you are going to get seedling from the nursery, they are going to charge you more, and in a packet of a seed, if you will take proper care of a seed, then you can prepare saplings or seedlings at home only, right? So this is known as abstraction. And now he developed a particular algorithm for this whole procedure. So his algorithm is here, beta. First step is collection of seeds and saplings. Second was making sapling containers. Okay. Third was beta making the mix needed for nursery bags. He has soil also, some kind of fertilizers also, right? So he has already mixed everything, and then like it was the third step of his whole process, right? Next was bagging of the seeds and saplings, right? That means after preparing the soil and having the seeds, he has to do all these things, right? Next is nurturing of saplings. That means he has to take care that rain should be there, shade should be there. Sometimes sunlight is also important for photosynthesis of plants, right? So everything he has to take care. And last was planting. That now he has to plant those trees into the ground, right? Other than this, what he can do is he can prepare this flow chart. Flow chart is basically a diagrammatic or pictorial representation of a particular algorithm, right? So here also you can see beta, every flow chart is going to start and stop, right, in this rectangle with the rounded edges. Okay, then next step is getting your input. Input can be given in your rectangle also, and this kind of rhombus shape also beta. Collect seeds and saplings. Okay, next is prepare or buy containers. This is your processing part. And then prepare the mix for the bags, that means soil and the fertilizers, right? Next is your decision box beta, where it is asking whether it is a seed or a sapling. If it is a seed, then you have to insert it an inch below the soil, and if it is a sapling, then insert the sapling in such a way that roots lie below the soil, right? And then you have to nurture it, then you have to plant, and then stop. Okay, so flowchart as well as um, English language, okay, step by step procedure is a part of your algorithm only. So these five things we have studied so far. Number one, that we have to analyze. Number two, that we have to decompose. Number three, pattern recognition. And if we have recognized the patterns and similarities, and we have followed some kind of trends, then you will find so many options. So you have to filter out. That means you have to do abstraction. And then after doing all four steps, you have to finally make a algorithm or a step-by-step procedure, right? Now, in this particular section, we are going to learn or understand how can we apply reasoning to make decisions. Okay, in the book, first let me discuss the book example, then I will teach you and I'll ask you how to understand the reasoning in some series. Okay, here beta, the problem was to calculate sum of the first 10 odd numbers. Okay, first of all, you have to write the first 10 odd numbers. Odd numbers are that are not completely divisible by 2, right? So, and they have very few factors like 1 and themselves, right? So what you have to do here is that you have to see the pattern. And while looking at this, what we found was when we are adding the inner two, okay, when we are pairing the from, we are starting from the center two and then we are going outside, we are getting the result of 20. And we have five such pairs. So 5 into 20 is your 100 only. And then 100 is the answer of your first 10 odd numbers. Okay, in this way we can have pictorial this representation also, like here in this shape you have to find out the fourth shape, right? So first one is having four edges, 1 2 3 and 4. Second one is having 5. Third one is having 6. Then it is obvious that seventh the fourth one is going to have the 7 sides, right? So this was all about your reasoning. Okay, next is beta, why is computational thinking so important? As I told you that you will be able to solve various real life problems, right? But there are some key skills that you will develop if you will follow computational thinking technique in your life. Okay, so four these key skills are important, and you have to learn these four names, and I'm telling you the zest of this. Okay, so perseverance. What is this perseverance beta? That you have to try and try, you will never ever give up. Okay, so once you have started using computational thinking in your life, then no matter how big the problem is, you will never give up. You will always try for it until and unless you reach to the goal, right? Next is beta debugging. Debugging means bug in your computers. We call it as a error. Okay. As I have written with pencil in the book, you can also create your classroom notes. All right. So debugging means removal of errors. Okay. Once you know that no, I'm not going to give up and I have to get solution of this problem, then whatever errors are coming in your way, you will try to remove them yourself. Okay, so debugging is a very important key skill that you will learn when you are when you are using computational thinking in your life. All right. Third is creating. Creating means that you are thinking innovatively, because beta sometimes what happens is that your plan of achieving a particular target or solving a particular problem, your plan A fails, then you will always have plan B, C, D. And I think somewhere I have read this quote that if your plan A and B fails, you have 24 more alphabets to try, right? So we can have plan Z also. Okay, so you have to try different innovative ways in order to achieve your target. And once you have this perseverance that no, I'm not going to stop until and unless I will reach my goal or I will find out the solution of this problem, you will find all the creative ways, different ways, you will think out of the box, okay, to achieve something. Fourth one is experimenting. Children gain the courage to experiment and they have very less fear of failure, because if you will not have any fear of getting failed, okay, so then you will definitely do more experiments and then you will have more success in your life. Okay, so four key skills will be developed in children, those who will follow computational thinking. First is perseverance, second is debugging, third is creating, fourth one is experimenting. Right, beta? Now, I'm going to ask you a simple question here. Just wait. Just look at the whiteboard, okay? And be attentive, right? All right. So I'm writing a series here, and you have to raise your hand, or you can send a message also in the chat box that what will be the next, right? So I'm writing a series here. So fifth one, you have to tell me. Fifth. And those who will raise their hand or they are going to tell me the answer, I want proper reasoning also, that what was the reason of this answer. Okay, so if you're ready with your reasoning, then only please raise your hand. Okay, beta? Okay, Yana, beta, I'm unmuting you. You can please speak. Yes, Yana.
Namaskar, ma'am.
Namaskar, Yana. Yes, beta.
Ma'am, the answer is M.
N. Which alphabet,
Ma'am,
beta?
I'm M.
M. M.
M.
M for monkey.
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. So M. For what reason? What is the reasoning or the logic behind this, beta?
Ma'am, we can see that A, B, C, D. At the third number, D is coming like that. The series is going.
Yes, like we are skipping every like after A we have skipped two alphabets and then we have came on.
Yes, ma'am.
All right.
And
So
the third
after,
digit is
okay, so after D also like E and F we have skipped and then all right. So now you have understood how to apply these kind of reasonings. I'm asking one more question, okay? Please mute yourself, Peter.
ma'am. I'm having a doubt also.
Okay, I'll take your doubt, Peter. First, let me give you one more series. Yes. Please raise your hand if you have understood. You have to tell me the reasoning also, beta. Okay. Just wait. I'm unmuting someone. Okay. Yes, Trisha. Please let me know the answer.
Namaskar, ma'am.
Namaskar, Trisha. Yes, beta. Please speak.
Ma'am, the answer is 44.
44. Sure. You just try this later, huh? I'm unmuting someone else now. Rhythm beta, I'm going to unmute you now.
Ma'am, answer for this is
Yes, Rhythm, please speak beta. It's okay, even if it is wrong, please try this. Yes.
Ma'am, 51.
51.
Ma'am, 21.
No. All right, let me see my chat box now. Maybe someone. 54. Mitanshu has written 50. Hitvika 54. Trisha now 54. So now everyone has got that it is 54. Who will tell me the reasoning behind this? Okay, 54 is the answer. 54 is the right answer, but you have to tell me the reasoning. Please raise your hand if you can explain what is the reasoning behind this. Because ma'am, we are multiplying by 3. Yes, we are multiplying by 3. Okay? Yes, beta. So this was all about your reasoning. Okay, and these kind of questions are important because now after 6th grade, beta, you will be facing a lot of Olympiads also, and later after your schooling, you will give so many competitive exams where these kind of reasoning questions come. Okay, so you have to try this, and that is why computational thinking is important. Okay, so you have to see and recognize the patterns, and then you have to uh, come up with your answers, right? Now I'll take your doubts.